Economic growth in the short run. It is an increase in the real GDP, and in the long run is a rise in the maximum output that economy can produce. Government objectives: to achieve sustainable economic growth, which means that the growth can last longer and doesn't endanger the ability of future generations to achieve economic growth. This also includes to avoid using non-renewable resources and protecting the environment. Measuring economic growth, it is usually measured by the annual percentage change in real GDP, which is the change in country's output. It includes the country's income or its expenditure. Using the expenditure method, you will need to add exports and subtract imports. Problems with measurement can occur if some products are double counted as raw materials and then included in final products. It needs to include only incomes which are given in return for providing services, but not transfers. Informal economy is not counted, which means that the measurement is an estimate. A wrong measurement in inflation rate will cause wrong measurement of economic growth. The causes of economic growth. In the short run, economic growth can be achieved if an economy has spare capacity by a rise in aggregate demand. A fall in export rate can increase exports and achieve economic growth, but also higher consumption in the country, because of lower tax rates, will lead to a rise in real GDP. In the long run, economic growth can be achieved by increasing and improving the quantity and quality of aggregate supply. It can be influenced by an increase in net investment as it affects both aggregate demand and supply. A way to improve the quantity of labor can be through migration or more women entering the labor force. The quality can be achieved through training and research and development in new technologies. The cost of economic growth. It has a short-run cost for consumers as the economy needs to switch from producing consumer goods to producing capital goods if it is using all of its resources. This changes will have a positive long-term effect for the consumers. It brings stress-related issues as people will need to get new skills in order to be competitive on the labor market and understand the new technologies. Reduces non-renewable resources as they are used in the expansion or for the building and usage of new firms. Damage to the environment. The benefits of economic growth. Most governments believe that the benefits of the economic growth are bigger than its cost. A rise in people's standard of living as higher real GDP per head, but the effect on different people will depend on the distribution of income. The bigger quantity of money that the government possesses can be used in improving the life of poor, education, health care, the environment and other government expenditure. International competitiveness. The economic growth will give the country higher status and more power as more countries will depend on its products, and then it will have more power in international negotiations.